Thank you.
Your musical timeline can be traced back to your childhood, listening and observing your father playing violin and you picking up the guitar. Do you remember the songs that you sang as you played guitar?
Some of the songs that my father forced me to play were like Golden Earrings, from the movie of the same name, Marlene Dietrich and Ray Milland. I remember playing, and I recorded it on my first album, It's the Talk of the Town. And my father was a great whistler, so he would be doing things outside or, working, and he would whistle besides playing the violin. He was a great whistler. And I just learned a lot of songs from hearing him whistle.
I hope there's a little slice of everybody in me. That's a quote from you in an interview. Who's everybody, these vocalists who influenced you?
From early cats like Jan Savitt, who was like an early scat singer in the 20s and early 30s, to Dave Lambert, before he sang with Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross, to John Hendricks. And some of the people that have influenced my singing have certainly been people like Dexter Gordon, who plays in that laid-back, phrased kind of a way, like Jimmy Scott, like Billie Holiday.
Well, I refined my way back to your arms.
You went to Alaska in 1975. What put you up there?
The adventure of going. I mean, I was working construction in Connecticut, and but it wasn't construction. It was ripping up a road and reshaping it and paving it, or going to an existing landing strip and extending it, or something like that. That to me was the real deal. I mean, I was always interested in going to either Alaska or Australia, because it was, not to sound corny, but the last frontier. I think I got a little bit of cowboy in me.
On your release, Luminosity, it's interesting your choice of a trombone as a second voice on the bandstand. Usually vocalists choose a saxophone. Why a trombone for you?
John Gove is a wonderful trombone player. He also wrote some of the arrangements. I worked with him previously on the West Coast, and I like the sound of a trombone. It's very close to a voice, and he's an expressive player, and I thought it adds a different color. Like you said, most of the time there'll be a saxophone, and actually it's been recommended to me to use an alto saxophone because my voice is in the range of a tenor. Well, I thought, why not use a tenor saxophone? It's the same sound. And in my head, I hear a tenor saxophone. So I went with a tenor saxophone on the recording and a trombonist on the DVD, just to approach it differently.
You say that you don't bring an act to the stage, but you do bring a presence and stories, especially about love and relationships. Who or what do you love at this time in your life?
She said there's nothing wrong with having a cup of coffee, baby. So we went and had a cup of coffee. And one thing led to another, and another, and another.
It's a loaded question, baby. Lots of times people come up to me and say, that story that you told before, Since I Fell for You, or that story that you told before you sang I Told You I Love You, Now Get Out, is that true? And I say, absolutely. And if it's not, it ought to be. Because in my head, when I'm telling it, it's real. Yeah, well,
back to your arms once more. Suddenly you close the door. Now I sing the blues.
What's your next project?
I am involved in the making of a record right now. This is the infant stages of a record that is going to be the music of Gil Scott-Heron. Gil Scott-Heron's music, some of it comes from jazz, but it's his own composition, either him or Brian Jackson. But his lyrics, Gil Scott's lyrics that were written in the 70s are still valid. And I didn't pick any of the really potent nationalistic stuff. I picked show business, Madison Avenue, Legend in His Own Mind, New York City, Winter in America. I mean, these are things that are really valid today. And Gil Scott said something in the 70s, and it still works for me. So with a different instrumentation and a little bit more of a swing feel in it, with some funk, because I'm a big fan of James Brown, hopefully it'll be something to listen to.
Since I fell for you, life ain't worth a damn.